Hey everyone, let's dive right into today's explainer. We're going to start with a pretty chilling reality about those screens we literally stare at every single day.
So, ask yourself, who knows you better than you know yourself? Well, what's really wild here is that the answer isn't your best friend, and it's definitely not a family member. It's a machine. We're talking about a machine that's actively building a deeply personal psychological map of your vulnerabilities, and it's doing the whole shebang entirely without you even realizing it.
Okay, moving to section 1. Meet your digital ghost, the unseen replica monitoring your every move.
So look at these actions. Pausing on a post for just 3 seconds, kind of lingering on specific videos while you're scrolling, deleting those half-written comments, or even just having moments of loneliness. These aren't just random, meaningless actions tossed into the digital void. Actually, these are exact micro-interactions tracked by AI. It uses this stuff to precisely figure out when you're feeling low or insecure. Think about it. Traditional ads used to just guess what you wanted based on your age, right? But predictive AI, it's literally mapping your emotional state in real time.
The absolute crucial takeaway here is this. Personalization is an illusion. You are feeding the machine. What we've been sold for years as this great modern convenience, a perfectly tailored way to get the exact music, clothes, and news we like, is actually predictive AI just waiting for your most vulnerable moments. It literally waits for you to feel down so it can push content that makes you, say, shop mindlessly, or even subtly shifts your worldview. It's crazy. You think you're using free software, but really, the software is using you.
Right, let's head into section 2, the rise of digital clones, from your silent data to hyper-realistic avatars.
Researchers Truby and Brown coined this absolutely critical term called the digital thought clone. Basically, it's a replica of all known data on a living person, recording in real time their choices, preferences, behavioral trends, and decision-making processes. These clones use those massive trails of data we all leave behind to predict and simulate exactly how you think and act. It is, for all intents and purposes, a digital copy of your mind.
Now, looking at this comparison, you can see this exact same tech is a total double-edged sword. On the left side, we've got constructive uses, things like digital immortality, accessible education, or giving a voice back to actors, like Val Kilmer, who famously reprised a classic role using AI after losing his voice to throat cancer. Pretty amazing, right? But then, you look at the right side, the dark concerns. We're talking identity theft, revenge porn, hyper-realistic fake news, and even fraudulent voice cloning used to pull off massive bank heists. The exact same code capable of making beautiful art can also cause devastating deception.
Moving right along to section 3, the behavioral futures market, monetizing your human experience.
According to the thinker Yuval Noah Harari, we are entering the era of dataism. This is basically an ideology where human beings are considered data processing systems, and maximizing informational efficiency entirely replaces the goal of human freedom. In this framework, algorithms basically become the ultimate arbiters of value. They take the most intimate details of your life and turn them straight into corporate profits.
And this leads us directly to researcher Shoshana Zuboff's brilliant concept of instrumentation. This is the subtle, ongoing algorithmic steering of human behavior at a mass scale, without the use of physical coercion. Let that sink in. The AI doesn't force you to do a single thing. It just nudges your behavior within a behavioral futures market. It tests your reactions to specific content, adapts its messaging in real time, and steers you so incredibly smoothly that eventually, your choices are no longer entirely your own.
Okay, let's scale this up. Section 4, hijacking the democratic system, algorithmic power, and the 2024 Romanian elections.
So, looking at how this impacts entire nations, this peer-reviewed study from the Euro-Atlantic Resilience Journal gives us a fascinating empirical case study. It analyzes AI's impact on democratic sovereignty during the highly complex 2024 Romanian elections. Now, researchers point out this wasn't just your standard run-of-the-mill political communication. No, this was the active calibration of human emotions using predictive profiling to straight-up replace informed democratic deliberation.
Just look at how clinical and step-by-step this is when we break it down. First, in the data extraction phase, the AI tracks mundane clicks and history to uncover a voter's deep psychological vulnerabilities. Next up is algorithmic profiling, where it infers emotional predispositions to create dynamic psychological models of the electorate. And finally, behavioral conditioning kicks in. This is where it adapts messages in real time to polarize discourse and steer votes. So the AI literally goes from extracting your basic clicks to calibrating your emotions, all with the ultimate goal of altering the course of an election. It's a real game changer.
Which brings us to Section 5, Reclaiming Digital Sovereignty, the fight to take back your informational agency.
So what's the solution here when global tech platforms have effectively staged a coup from above? Well, this quote from Harari really hits the nail on the head. As AI gains access to data about our behavior and preferences, it may come to know us better than we know ourselves, threatening the classical notion of free will. This is exactly why researchers are urgently calling for updated regulatory frameworks, things like the EU's Digital Services Act, just to use as a starting point. But honestly, beyond legislation, there is a massive need for public literacy initiatives to safeguard our autonomy. We've got to understand how our data is used so we can make rational choices and reclaim our digital sovereignty.
I want to leave you with a really provocative thought to consider the next time you catch yourself pausing while scrolling. Will your values remain a choice or just a calculation? Are you making a free choice, or is the algorithm subtly making it for you? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning, stay focused, and I'll catch you next time.